gonna watch the grand finals of TI, and we're gonna break it down. We're gonna figure out why Tundra won. Oh, this is clever. They're doing a nice wraparound smoke play. You don't see a ton of these anymore, where people actually put the time into thinking about clever ways of getting first blood here. And normally you see that smoke go to here, so this is very interesting. It's very high risk too, because you could break it quite easily just by having one hero there. Skeeter's gonna be the bait. He's absolutely useless as a Nog anyway. And they're gonna find resolution here. Shards are skilled. And it looks like can he get through? No, he can't. And Snaking hits the arrow, so that was a really nice. I mean, you die here on 9, but you get the first blood. Every hero is worth the same amount of gold at level 1 there, but that smoke ink was very, very nice by Tundra there. They can play here, but 9 in the mid lane actually with the glyph. He gets body blocks. Nisha ends up not getting the kill. Saksa will go for the rune. And Nisha does have an arcane rune now, but they might actually kill him here. I think Nisha is dead here, unless he can make a big play, but there's gonna be a snowball punch. And I think he is donezo. Really good play there. I told you, the 6-minute rune, they're gonna make a rotation. This Lesh can die easily. It did get a little crazy just because there was solo kill attempts there, but it's basically as simple as that. You bring one support over, snowball, punch, nuke him, and this Lesh will die every single time. Disassemble your boots, bottle, and then reassemble them. That's a new one. I haven't seen many people use that one. That's pretty cool. All right, let's see what Tundra are planning to do here. So they're going to put the Tidehunter bottom, pull the wave, have the catapult hit the tower. They're not helping him whatsoever, so this does not look like it will amount to any real pressure. And then meanwhile, Naga is just going to end up farming just pretty much the primary jungle here. And Snaking is just botting. And by that, it means he's just putting a body in front of the Naga so the Naga can hit creeps. They're moving 9 bottom now. They do want to pressure. They have lost their catapult already, though, so this might be a little deep. But really good by 9 here, actually. He baited 2 TPs here, and instead of committing, they had the patience to back up. And with that being said, they have now effectively made Secret stuck down here. Now Lich is down here, and Nisha's also trapped down here. If 9 wanted to, if he wanted to be an absolute Chad, he would push mid out and then go run top lane and gank top, because now there are no TPs to help him. There's no black hole either, actually, so. Crystallis, they don't have TPs for him. So great rotation by 9, actually. So he did a little different variation of the play that I wanted him to do, right? And we'll show you what he did here that was so cool. So he knew Nisha just TP'd bottom because he forced Nisha to TP bottom. He knew Puppy TP'd bottom because he just forced him. So he went back mid lane, and then the moment he saw Leshrac, which was right here, right? He TP'd bottom because now he knows that this Leshrac cannot TP to save Pudge. So very cool to see, like, these players making, like, these map movements, right? Like, my initial call was he should have went top because they have no TPs, but he made a different variation of what I thought he should do there, and it's probably just better, to be honest with you, because, like, now it's going to equate into getting a tower. So, really cool play there. It's like one of those long-winded plays that have to be, like, set up first. It's not just going to happen in, like, one moment. It's like one moment leads to another moment that leads to the next moment that you've now opened up for yourself to make that play happen. Snaking, unfortunately, has no resources. You're gonna see what Snaking's kind of been doing this whole time. He's just been taking Enigma's farm while farming himself. So, like, they may not have been pressuring bottom very much, but he's just sitting in this jungle. Because, like, it's very easy to be like, Snaking isn't doing anything this game. I could easily say that, because he's just been sitting on top lane dying. But surely, he had a purpose. So he took the mid farm. That's when 9 died. He's trying to help out a little bit. What is it? Okay, so they lose top tower now. Snaking's just gonna hold the wave here. Gonna feed a little bit. So effectively, what this team is doing right now is they're just playing for farm. I covered Team Spirit, right? Last year. Well, I didn't do it with you guys. I kind of did it by myself, right? Because I wasn't making content then. But they were doing the exact same thing. They were also TI winners last year. They would just sit there and farm in the laning stage, farm, they wouldn't really make many plays on the map. And I would just say over-exaggerated plays. They wouldn't make over-exaggerated plays on the map. By that, they won't bring 4 to 5 heroes and go hit your tower, right? Like, 9 is making some moves, but these are kind of like individual moves. Or yeah, they're making some moves on runes, but that's all like standard stuff. But all they're doing on every single hero right now is they're trying to get some items. Because like Snaking could have easily been bottom, like jerking off here and like throwing some arrows, like trying to get some kills or really desperately trying to get this tower. But it doesn't really do anything at the end of the day. Like he's just trying to make sure he gets his basic items because there's going to be a point in the game where support stop farming. Like it's going to be all cores and your map is going to be very limited as these towers die. So if you don't get your farm during a certain time frame in the game, you're just never going to get it. Or you're going to be stealing it because there's going to be a limited amount. But in the early game, the whole map is pretty much open to be farmed. And so they're doing a really good job of just making sure that they have their farm on all their heroes. I will say this game, 9, has been a beast with these shards. Every single kill they've got, maybe not every single one, but most of the kills they got have been set up by a beautiful shard by 9. So some individually great plays here by him, which allows them to go. And the only reason Snaking and Soxa are going in that position there, they're not committing until the shard hits. They're not committing until the bushwhack hits. And then once all those spells hit, they realize this Enigma will die with the only commitment necessary of being Snaking going in. So even if they mass TP'd there and got a Snaking kill in return, they would be stuck down here. They would not be able to like get back out on the map, which would equal to more farm for Tundra. So that is kind of like his thought process of like when to dive and when not to dive. It was very calculated of when exactly that moment was to just get in there and finish the kill. They were very patient. So as a Naga, you can't have much impact on this hero in the early game. Not really, like your hero is mainly meant for farming, but the most impact you can have on this hero is about the time when you finish Manta style or whenever your team's in a good enough position to start cutting waves. So I really liked at this moment here. I mean, he could have probably done it a little earlier too, but you're going to see what he does shortly here. He ends up sending illusions to cut mid wave and bottom wave. So not only is that a lot of money, that is now going to make it so this wave and this wave are just going to go directly into the tower, not only giving you vision, but giving you time to make another play. I mean, Tundra are doing all the right things. Don't get me wrong here. Like, Tundra are doing, like, good stuff on the map here. They're camping their vision, right? They have heroes, Skeeter's here, with Snaking. 33's around too. They are not leaving this area. They have it warded. But what I think Secret's response to this, I think, is very lackluster. Like, you're not dewarding this ward solo. Like, you have to respect Tundra here. And that leads into 2 kills on both supports here. And potentially even more here. The Ravage was used. There's a Bushwhack available. And they're just playing it slow. They're playing it slow. They're not diving. They're not overcommitting. They got 2 more supports for basically, I mean, they did use the Ravage for that, but basically for free. And that was just like pretty sloppy. Secret is playing very sloppy in this game. Very, very, very sloppy. Kind of like the story of like when I watch these Tundra games, that they're just out moving people on the map here. And they're not even doing anything crazy to do this either. Like they're just making small rotations on the map, getting a pick off, but chilling out and farming, you know? Everyone loves hitting creeps. One thing to note as well, for supports, this patch, that I notice Tundra does a lot is they build items for the team. I mean, Puppy has a blink, Zayats has a blink. If you look at the other supports here, Force Staff, I think this item is just, it's been back for a while now. And we see a lot of teams just win games based off of having a clutch Force Staff in a team fight, right? You saw the Tide just get forced there. They have 2 Force Staffs as well. A little bit different itemization. I can't really recall which game I saw before, but I saw a game where both supports were being kind of greedy and just building items for themselves. And they ended up losing as a result, even though they were really farmed. But I think these small items like Force Staff, Glimmer Cape to a lesser degree, you know, Lotus Orb, Drums, these are all items to help the team. They're not really helping the Mirana in any way, right? She could go in Ags. That would be a selfish item. as Ags normally is. Same with the Hoodwink. The Hoodwink, I mean, this, you just need this to get your spells off. This is great. And now, after you made your basic items here, it's now going to go in for more of a scaling item build here. You see the Tide, but this dude has a Heart of Taros and 69% magic resistance. Maybe you can't even kill him anymore. But if you can't kill him anymore, who can you kill? They're going to wait for a better target. It's a Tundra classic now. I'm not going to say they invented this play because this is I've used this play in my career many times, but a lot of people don't use it. It's after you get 2 sets of racks, right? You don't just go and take this tower. You can have one person bait, 33 knows he's invincible, and you go smoke in a lane that is pushing in, because they have to deal with this wave. They have to farm this wave, right? It's going to start hitting their base here. So they're going to jump the moment you hit these creeps. Instead of just sitting behind their Tide and being AFK, they're making a progressive move. And I believe this is the best thing you can do when you're up 2 sets of barracks, is to make this play every single time, because you don't really have many play options. Worst case scenario, look, Secret doesn't defend these creeps, right? And maybe they saw this play coming, right? Like I told you, this isn't like the first time anyone's used this smoke play before. It's in their playbook and they like using it frequently, but it's good for multiple reasons. If you farm the creeps there, you die. If you don't farm the creeps there, your base dies, right? So like, no matter what, you're getting something out of this. Alright, GG. Really clean game. Outside of like the early game, Nine had a couple questionable plays where he TP top and died, but he had like, for his couple questionable plays, he had about like 15 amazing ice shards that netted early game kills. 33's itemization was also brilliant this game. All magic damage from Team Secret. Going into the Wraith Pact, into the Mage Slayer, Pipe, all magic damage. Reducing items was super cool to watch. And just overall, the way Tundra played the map was super good. Criticisms for Team Secret, I really felt like they were like not themselves this game. They kept trying to like take scraps of the map back, but doing it not the right way. So they ended up feeding one by one. Like they had an idea of what they wanted to do, but the execution was very, very poor from them. I would have liked to either see them like give it all, commit to one idea and actually make it work, or use the map better. They didn't farm the top side of the map the entire game. They just let nothing, all their net worth just went to waste this game. They got super out farmed and they just kind of fed in the mid lane and the bottom lane repetitively.